Hello, good morning. My name is Madhigita Nanda Pramudia Chandrawardhani, and everyone usually call me Gita. So, in today's presentation, I'd like to present it article summary, and the title is Coordinating Attention in a Classroom Environment, which includes both physical and virtual spaces. And this article written by Elina Tapio, 2019. So, let's enjoy the video of presentation. Yeah. So in today's presentation, I'd like to cover 8 points, which is the first is collaborating through multiple semiotic systems, and the second is mediated discourse analysis and the approach to multimodality, and then the third is research participants and the data. The fourth is multimodal analysis in the study. The fifth is description of the multiple spaces and mediational means used in interaction. And then the next is participant orientation toward shared site of attention. And then the development of attention structure and the role of gaze in coordinating attention. And the last is I'm going to present it some point of conclusion. All right, let's move to the first topic. All right, before that, I'll going to present it some of introduction of this article, which there is sample and setting, method, theory, and outer purpose. So, sample and setting. The descriptive data for the study was collected from university students majoring in Finnish Sign Language or FinSL who attend an English language course called academic reading, and then the course had a total of 6 students enrolled. And then the method. The teacher directed to provide space for multilingual practice inspired by an ecological field language learning, which described language learning as participation and interaction with an environment in all of its complexity. And the author is this statement, according to Kramsak 2002 and Funley 2004. So, this method, as well as research result on FinSL Signer multilingual and multimodal resources for English language learning. And then the idea was to make it easier for English language learners to founder complex, visually oriented communication. All right. And then the theory. To the classroom interaction, the course participants brought their everyday interactional ability. It is from Crabtree and Roden 2008 in their historical bodies. It is according to Scollon and Scollon 2004. So, such competence in the context of sign interaction includes the way signers regulate attention and interaction, such as the turn-taking organization, which has recently been investigated using the conversation analysis method. It is by Gerard Grober, 2015, DeVos, Torreira, and Levinson, 2015. Alright, so visual access is required for engaging in discussion in visually focused sign engagement, and then the constant use of peripheral vision allows for a collaborative signing floor, which is a person can focus on one signer while simultaneously seeing several others. And then multi-party sign interaction are characterized by this type of overlap. It is according to Coates and Sutton Spence, 2001. So, Outer purpose. So the goal of this research is to study at how participants in an English language course use an online learning environment with chat rooms and discussion forums during and between classes to coordinate courses of action and build and control site of attention that enable collaborative communicative activity. So this is managed according to Norris 2004 and 2009. That is by analyzing classroom interaction from a multimodal perspective without the use of form before the mode definition or assumption about mode hierarchy. And then the main the main concept in language relevant for understanding complex multimodal interaction across various places, as well as the theoretical perspective on mediated action and multimodality with which this work aligns. Okay, move to the next topic. It is the first topic of this article in theoretical farming, which is collaborating through multiple semiotic system. Okay. Examining a situation in which participants interact with one another at once and in various spaces, both virtual and physical, using a variety of semiotic resources, raises the question of how digitally mediated interaction should be treated in relation to simultaneous interaction in physical space. So, according to Jones 2004 and 2005, virtual environments provide extensions or additional layers of space and time, which mean is synchronous and asynchronous for people to engage in. And then also Jones identified 5 types of space that computer-mediated communication user might orient to, and these spaces are also present in language learning-oriented classroom interaction. And then the physical space, virtual spaces, also from Jones 2005 at 144. The physical spaces or virtual spaces, relation space, screen space, and third space, spaces that participants referred to in the studied interaction, are the topic of this article. Alright, so next. And then according to Crabtree and Roden 2008, the praise fragmented interaction to describe the difficulty of collaborating in what they call hybrid space, a location that combines physical and digital environments. So, next to H. Julstad 2016, he said that in his ethnographic research on sign language teaching via video conferencing technology, examined among other things the teacher's practice for orchestrating student attention and practices used to address recipient in a virtual environment. So, and then multi-sited data to explore human interaction and explain how people engage in and manage complex overlapping activities through numerous semiotic interaction and often referred to as multitasking or polyfocality. It is according to Jones 2004. And then, the next topic is about mediated discourse analysis and the approach to multimodality. I'll start by colon 2001A and 2001B. Mediated discourse analysis, or MDA, which uses mediated action, a specific activity made by the research participants, as the unit of analysis. And then in MDA, focal social action is related to the interaction of three different discourse or social space combined, which is interaction order, historical body, and discourses in location. It is according to Jones 2010. And then, actors' mediational means are constantly involved in a mediated action. Semiotic resources or modes, see further discussion in the section below. And the part of the article of this change in question is on the individuals, the modes they choose, and how they adapt those semiotic resources. And then, the goal of multimodal analysis is to investigate what mediates actions, how semiotic resources interact, and in multimodal action, and how those resources connect to one another in such situations. So next is, according to Norris 2013b, the modes employed, the way they are used, and the hierarchy of mode is one context or by one person in a situation cannot be expected to happen in another situation or by other participants. So, and then multimodality through the lens of MDA is a mode is a dynamic phenomena that is reinvented and arises anew every time actors participate in a given environment. So, alright, to conclude, when we're looking at multimodality through the lens of MDA, a mode is a dynamic phenomena that is reinvented and arises anew every time actors participate in a given environment. So next is the third topic, which is about research participant and the data. So the information comes from the University of Glasgow Language Center's English course, academic reading, which is offered to BA and MA students in the FINS SL student study program. And then FINS SL and Finnish terminology that signify sign language signer or sign language user are commonly used beside terms that indicate deaf in the Finnish context. And then, the course purpose was to help students build reading strategies for academic materials written in English. And then the course had a total of 6 students enrolled. Video recordings of classroom interaction, screen videos, field notes, and chat logs were used as the main data for this work. So, next, the fourth topic is about multimodal analysis in this study. I will start by Norris 2004 at 85. That is, participants can perform multiple actions at the same time while paying different levels of attention and awareness to each one. So, high model intensity of one or more modes can indicate high level of attention. For example, gaze, body position, head movement, and embodied print can all indicate concentrate attention in a chat room conversation, i.e., typing. And then, with this concept in mind, the author went through the following steps when using the annotation tool Elan to analyze video recorded data. And after watching video recordings and reading field notes repeatedly, the author selected experts for detailed annotation. And the purpose was to look for intents when the participant participated in mutual discourse rather than individual work, and they compare these moments at the beginning and end of the course to see whether there was a difference in how they form and manage side attention. All right. Next is about description of the multiple spaces and mediational means used in interaction. So, the course teacher collaborated with the researcher to create two online settings of usage during the course. I'm sorry. Before that, the author will describe the mediational methods utilized in the studied interaction in this section with a focus on how the employment of digital technologies augments the already numerous social spaces in classroom management. So, back to model and chat room. Model was used mostly for asynchronous communication and storage of course materials and student assignment in its online discussion forum. And then about chat room was used more than Moodle's chats because it allowed students and teachers to chat while browsing other content in Moodle. And then instead of compensating for spoken English, the online chat, tablets, and other technical devices were used to enable multimodal literacy practice in both virtual and physical places. Yeah. Look for the pictures. So, the teacher and the student in the language launch attending to the chat window via tablets, a laptop, and a big screen. During most of the classes, the students were sitting on beanbag chairs and the teacher sat at the desk. So, each student 1 until 6, from left to right in these pictures, was able to attend to the chat window via their tablets and the big screen close to the teacher. Since the big screen was connected to the teacher's keyboard or projected the screen of the teacher's laptop on the big screen, the students were able to read what the teacher was writing while she was typing. In other words, every the letters, space, and backspace, the teacher pressed was transmitted character by character in the text box underneath the chat room window, and thus visible to those looking at the big screen. When paying attention to the big screen, the otherwise semi-synchronous chat was in fact synchronous. Alright, next to the second pictures, student 3 and student 4 attending to the chat room via different tools. Student 3 looks at the big screen while student 4 looks at her tablet. When a student pays attention to her tablet screen, her own typing in the text box below the chat room window appears, and the comments of others appear on the screen only when completed and sent to the chat room by hitting return or the send button. And then this picture shows students 3 and 4 both paying attention to the chat room window through different tools. Student 3, which is student 3 gazes at the big screen, and student 4 looks at her tablet screen while typing. Yeah. Alright, the next topic, it is about participants' orientation towards shared side of attention. And then this section describes how participants construct and manage side of attention when the interaction is fragmented into several spaces and time codes. So the teacher looks at the student regularly after typing a message via chat according to the analysis of the interaction during the second and third meetings of the course. Yeah, so the teacher scans all of the students and direct her stare towards the one of to whom her chat message is directed. However, her gaze elicits no answer. So, the addition of technology tools to the classroom has made it easier for the instructor to interact with pupils in a physical setting. Because students are making more eye contact, they are increasingly using gesture and signing in addition to typing in the conversation. And then in contrast, the overall impression of the first sessions is that both the teacher and the students are preoccupied with their screens throughout the discussion. And then the engagement is disconnected, and the participants have yet to figure out how to organize various collaborative locations. And then when they need someone's attention in the physical space, they use different types of attention getting methods typical of sign engagement. Engagement. The more effortless approach of scanning for visual embodied initiation or answer takes place as the course progresses. The next, it is about the development of attention structure and the role of gaze in coordinating attention. Yeah. I'll start by, according to Crabtree and Rudin 2008, the fragmented interaction makes collaboration difficult, which is important for language acquisition activities, But participants use a variety of resources to coordinate their own action and the action of others in order to take joint action. And then, in short, as participants perceive and take advantage of the abilities presented by the medicinal methods given to them, change in the interaction other occur in the classes. So about the author claims that using gaze allows participants to synchronize a number of mediated action necessary for language learning oriented participation, such as reading the teacher's written instruction and asking fellow students for assist in sign or spoken language. And then the use of gaze to initiate, maintain, and finish location of attention is common technique in sign language context. Also, the author claims that the way gaze is used to coordinate focus on and off the chat room in particular is something that builds on previous action in this environment with the specific technological tools and with the specific people gathering for the course meetings. And then the mode of gazing in this setting draws on the experience of designing communities of practice while also being produced in the activities that take place during each course meeting. And then the author will show an example of common attentional structure that appears in the analyzed interaction, and then the following excerpt was taken from the last 8 until 9 minutes of the 8 course meeting before the break, and then the group has spent a total of 20 hours studying by this point, and then the teacher advises taking a break, but she also wants to give students another project to complete after the break. Teacher's goal is for students to choose a discussion subject from the book they have already read. Yeah. And then about the students are passing the book from one student to the next, and the teacher is attempting to determine who has the book in order to inform her of the chosen topic. And then there are various and ongoing exchanges taking place via multiple semiotic system at this time, but places of attention develop for individuals to collaborate. And then, based on the video, determining the mode that simulates the teacher participation is difficult. It is because the sign engagement is almost certainly powerful enough to engage her through her peripheral vision. Then one of student makes a short vocal a short vocal sound while signing, and the teacher quickly looks at the pupils. Alright, so the 3 participants first pay attention to visual embodied sign contact during the convergence of attention that follows, after which they all focus towards technologically mediated engagement in the virtual space, which is apparent in the screen space. Alright, and then the students hold their eyes and head posture toward the teacher while the teacher enters the text, allowing them to see both the hug screen and the letters typed by the teacher appearing on the screen. And then about the three participants are now all focused on the chat room window. The students are looking at the big screen while the teacher is looking at the chat room on her laptop. And then the three still share a side of attention, but it changed from a visual embodied interaction mediated by sign language, head movement, and gaze to a screen space where the interaction is mediated by print and technological tools. All right, this is the end of my presentation. It is about the conclusion. I'll present it some point of conclusion. So, this study looked at the use of mediational means, specifically the use of gaze to understand the links between observable situated action and other activities as well as larger social structure across different time scales. And then a detailed result indicate how interactional pattern with gaze coordinated multiple social space as mutual sites of attention, allowing the participants to collaborate using concepts such as the site attention. It is by Jones 2010. And then attention structure and modes as a system mediated action. It is according to Norris 2013. All right, this is the end of my presentation. I hope you all can understand what I say, can understand what I mean. So for the last, I I'll say thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.